You're going to really like this one, I think, because I thought this was a really great question from KBag64. When you look in a telescope, how can you tell that it's a new planet and not one that you've already found?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yes, that's a very good question. When you look at anything in the sky, you take measurements of it, and one of the most important measurements is where it is. It has a position, it has a coordinate, and we're getting very good at measuring those very, very accurately. Now, stars, that's easy because you measure the position of the star and you come back 10 years later and it's in the same place. That's great. But things like planets and asteroids and stuff that are moving around the sun, you come back an hour later and they'll have moved. So what we have to do is work out whether something we measure in 2 years' time in a new position was in that old position 2 years ago. And we do that by understanding orbits. Gravity, it's great. We've understood orbits for hundreds of years now. Newton and Kepler and people help us sort this one out. And if you find a new object and you measure its position and then you come back a couple of hours later and it's moved a bit and you measure its position, and you do that 2 or 3 times, you can work out what its orbits must be, sort of in 3 dimensions, and then you can predict where it's going to be at any point in the future for hundreds of years. And so if you do come back in 10, 20, 30 years' time and you find something, you can then go through a list of all the things we do know about, work out if they would have been there, and if they are, they're the same thing. But if not, you found a new one.
That's cool. So we can do it. Again, technology, yeah. And that's, when you say we look at a list, it's a computer program.
Oh, yeah, because there's tens of hundreds of thousands of these things. So, yeah, you get computers to do it. I mean, you could sit there with the list, but frankly, that would be a bit tedious.
And these are supercomputers, aren't they? Literally supercomputers.
They can be, although nowadays, I mean, for example, if you want to search through a complete list of all the known asteroids, you just get on the web and type it in and it does it for you, and that's probably just a computer in somebody's office. It's not... The mathematics is complicated, but computers are good at doing mathematics, and so we can just get them to get on with it, and they do all the boring stuff and we get the results.
Brilliant.